Now let's take your pentatonics to a whole nother level. In the first part of the lesson, I showed you the C pentatonic scale form, but I showed you just one scale form. There are 5 basic scale forms. We did that whole lesson over the 4-chord progression with one scale form, moving it up. So we played different positions, but we only used one pentatonic scale form. Here are the 5. The easiest way to think of them is to begin at C. There's one scale form for every note of the C pentatonic scale. So C being the bass, that will be scale form number 1. Here it is. It's up on the 8th fret. Scale form 2 starts on the 2nd degree, or D, and it's on the 10th fret. Scale form 3 starts on the 3rd, or E, up here on the 12th fret. You can also play this one down at the open position, because that would be the octave. Okay, now we're at scale form 4. This starts on the 5th. This is the one that you studied in the first part of the lesson. Scale form 5 starts on the 6th degree, or A, on the 5th fret. So those are the 5 positions. 1, 2, 3, and 3 down here, 4, and then 5. So to put these together, this is the clue. You can start your melodic development by playing one scale form, and then you can add 2 scale forms together. For instance, if I play the scale form that we started with, the scale form 4, and scale form 5, and think of that as one shape together, you have 3 notes per string now. So instead of just one place. So what this does is it starts you in the direction of playing in a linear fashion. So I very often tell people that to try and imagine your bottom 5 strings being gone and see if you can play everything on one string. And then you add 2 strings and then maybe 3 strings. It's a great way to learn what I call this horizontal position, as opposed to playing this way like we do as guitar players so much. So here's an example of just playing C pentatonic scale all over the neck, you know, learning the 5. I'm playing the 5 basic positions, but I'm not thinking of it that way. I'm thinking of it in a linear fashion. So you see how it can open up for all that melody when you do it this way. Before I set up this loop for you, let me just say a couple of words about inversions. In the second wood and steel lesson, I've added different chords, the inversions up and down the neck, so you can play the same 4 chords. It'll be the same progression, but with a few alterations to the notes. It'll just help you practice it a little bit easier, and you'll be able to demonstrate all the way up and down the neck the same chords. So these inversions, where I played one down here at the top, that's your D minor 7, and then we have a really interesting G7 altered, and then to C major 7, and then here's an A7 altered, A7 flat 9. And here's one here on the 3rd position. This has got really interesting voice leading here. And then we go, I think I did this. It's very similar to the first one I introduced without the top string. That's the first one. All right, so we had one up here on the 10th fret. This is a G7 altered. It has the 7th in the bass. That's why you don't hear this. So, and then a C major 7. To the A7 altered. This also has the 7th in the bass. That would be the bass. And then one higher was this one, D minor 9th, and then we did a flat 9, sharp 5, or flat 13, C major 7. I finger with my thumb a lot, so you'll see that. I wrote them down. I believe I wrote this like this, so it's a little bit more traditional approach. I tend to use my thumb a little bit. And then the A7 altered, flat. So those are the 5 total positions for the 4-bar progression. And I'll demonstrate a little bit of that in the loop that I'm going to put together for you next.